Hello everyone and welcome to the series of Quick Astro Hack. Today we will be covering timing of foreign travel. So how we see in the chart and how quickly we can go through it, we will get to know today. So when it comes to travel, the major house that signifies travel is first of all third house, which shows that it will take you away from your motherland, short travels. Then comes ninth house, which signifies long distance travel, pilgrimage. Then comes 12th house, which signifies overseas travel and foreign settlement. So these three are the prime houses, and whenever a planet which signifies these houses comes into picture, then chances of travel are quite high around that time. Now, one more thing, Rahu, Ketu, and Shani are natural malefics, and these signify detachment. So wherever you are working currently, if you get into the dasha of Rahu, Ketu, and Shani, they have the natural tendency to separate you from there. So suppose if you're working in India and your Rahu Dasha, Ketu Dasha or Shani Dasha starts, then it is quite highly likely that you might have to move. Or if the Mahadasha and Antardasha is also promising that there is a chance of moving abroad, then it is quite likely. So first of all, in all the dasha, it should be favorable for moving abroad, and then you should have a separative at some level of Mahadasha, Antardasha, and Pratantardasha. Coming to transit, so of all the three planets in DBA, Mahadasha, Antardasha, and Pratantardasha, either one of them should trigger the event. And how that triggering happens, if it is conjunct in a sign which signify travel, mutually aspecting a planet which signify travel, transit the house which signifies travel, aspect the house which signifies travel, and transit over the natal position. So if it is positive for travel and it is transiting over its natal position, then it becomes quite positive and then it triggers the event. So all of these should happen simultaneously in order to promise a travel. Now let us jump to some of the case study and try to understand what happened in these particular incidents and what made them travel abroad. So let's see. This is the first case study that we have. Uh, she was based out of India and she moved to UK when her Venus Mahadasha and Saturn Antardasha was in operation. So if you see, Saturn is her third lord and it is placed in the ascendant, and Saturn is placed in the nakshatra of Sun, and Sun is the ninth lord here. So here the natural combination of third house and ninth house triggers, and Saturn itself is a malefic, which again itself is showing that you have to move away from where you are currently placed. So Saturn was quite favorable for her to take her abroad to settle her in UK, and she did her MBA there. She was even looking for a job, but as soon as her Saturn Dasha is about to end, she is about to come back. She is looking to get a job or maybe settle down in India. So this was the first condition, first case study. Let us move to another one. So here we have the second case study. Here we have Jupiter Dasha that was in operation recently, and in Jupiter Mahadasha, Jupiter Antar Dasha, and Saturn Pratyanta Dasha, this person moved to UK again from India to UK. So if we check here, Jupiter comes out to be 12th Lord and 3rd Lord. So both are quite favorable for travel, both signifies travel, and Jupiter is placed in the ascendant. Those people will argue that Jupiter is quite weak here, Jupiter is debilitated here. It's okay, but what happens is what mainly concern is that Jupiter will give the effects of third house and the 12th house, which is most important, and that is travel. So Jupiter being placed in the ascendant, with being the third lord and the 12th lord, was quite positive for foreign travel. And as soon as she entered her Saturn Pratyanta Dasha, that triggering of detachment from the motherland happened and she moved to UK. And at the same time, there are other planets which also you need to check if they are favorable or not. So there were few planets which were showing in favor of moving abroad, and for that reason it was quite likely. Also see her uh, moon is placed in the ninth house. Moon is the naturally your mindset, and when it is placed in the ninth house, then traveling and visiting other places is a part of the personality of the person. There are other few things which should be taken into account, like for example, detachment from the motherland, which happens if Rahu is placed in the fourth house. Rahu, Ketu, or Shani, any of these placed in the fourth house, which detaches you from your motherland, and you need to have the right dasha for this. And the right dasha was Jupiter Mahadasha with Saturn Pratentar. Let us move on to our third case study. So this is also a chart of a guy who was working with Microsoft, and he moved to US in 2016. So same thing here also. As soon as his Jupiter Dasha started, he was given a chance to move to the US. And if you see at his coordinates, so most of the planets are signifying 9 and 12. So 9 and 12 is there in Mars. If you look at other, so Mars Nakshatra, it is there, and that's get repeated a lot of time. So that was quite favorable for him, which took him to abroad. And also Jupiter, as we all know that Jupiter signifies a quite a good ambience to work, quite a good work environment, good work ethics, and a supportive culture which helps you to grow better. And Jupiter Dasha, when it is quite well placed, and it is signifying that you will be doing very good in your career. Because if you look at the coordinates, Jupiter is placed in the nakshatra of Venus, and Venus here is quite positive. It is showing very good for career aspect. 1610, Jupiter is Venus is quite well placed, and also it shows that it will be helping the person to grow all throughout his life. And as soon as Jupiter Dasha started, it actually favored him to move out of the country and to settle in the US. So these are the three case studies that I had for today, which naturally my intention was to show that how the placement of planets around in third house, ninth house, and 12th house, and if these houses are quite positive, or if they are reflecting in all other planets through their nakshatra or sublord, then it is quite easy to predict that the travel will happen around this time. So that's it from my side. See you in the next video.